Hey, Shalom. It's Fallen Yeshua. Welcome again to The Rock. Self-sufficiency and homesteading. It is a broadening topic. More and more people are inquiring about it and asking questions. And one of the questions I often get is, is it even worth it now? And that's I would say, a loaded question. And it all depends on you. It doesn't depend on me. I can't give you the answer to that question. I'll tell you that homesteading is a lot of work. For most people, it's going to require you to oftentimes work in the world, to make your income, and do a homestead. Now, I did that for many years. I did that for 3 years. I worked 60, 72 hours a week, and then I would come home and homestead for about 4 hours a day. So I was gone for about 16 hours a day, travel time back and forth to work, and then doing the shopping, and then work itself, and then getting home. And I was getting routinely 4 hours of sleep a night, and that was not fun. But I knew that, it's for everything. It's only for a season. Most times, especially when you are moving in the path that the Father sent you in, Yah sent you in, you have to understand that all trials, all tribulations are only for a season. But see, most people don't have that inside of them where they understand that, nor do they have the patience to endure through periods of time where there is going to be struggle. That was struggle when it was, when Sister T was just here with the children, because we're in a new area, new state, area we've never been in before, and it's all wooded, it's raw land, we're off grid, it was a lot. But the end goal was always a thing that was in our mind, the vision. And brothers, I can't tell you how important it is to have, wives that see the vision, believe the vision, and are contributing heavily to the movement of the vision. Now, with Sister Ebony and Sister Taylor, along with Sister T, it's wonderful. Children, everybody is in and sees it and is moving in on the vision, pushing the vision. And I thank the Father for that. But see, you're going to have to want it. And it's not going to it's not going to be one of those basic, I want it, and that's where it stops. You're going to see, you're going to be tested. One thing in life that I really appreciate, and then just living this thing, is you really get to see who wants what they say they want. A lot of people say they want stuff, but they don't understand what it takes. You have people that want a elaborate, massive greenhouse. Well, I had to build hoop houses. And as you can see, you get those gourds right there. We got greens, and these rows are all planted in with greens. And I have another one coming up, a hoop house, very soon. This one's probably a 25, 30-foot hoop house. The next one I'm building is going to be about a 60-foot hoop house. But building a homestead takes time. It takes time. It takes labor. It takes resources. It takes money. It takes it's going to take you to in a lot of ways, put your own, I'll say, personal wants on hold. Unless you're just made with money. If you just have a ton of money, then that's a whole different story. But it's gonna take you to put everything on hold and focus solely on one thing for a multiple amount of years. And let's just be honest, in today's Western society, most people don't know how to focus on one thing for 2 or 3 or 4 years. They make it through college and they're like, bam, I'm gold. Homesteading is a whole different thing. I built my house. This is raw land. I built my house. I built my sheds. I built the greenhouses. I built the hoop houses. I built the chicken coop. I built my gardens. It takes a lot of work, and it takes, the children and the sisters have been instrumental in pushing this. And I can't tell you the importance of having a family on board with you. I really can't. I really can't. Had brothers come here and lend a hand in building, certain things. But 99% of the work is going to be you. And I don't think a lot of people, you're really going to see the fruit of your labor. It's easy to see the fruit of your labor when everybody else is coming together and you say, look at the fruit of my labor. No. When you see the fruit of your labor and it's you by yourself, you realize that the responsibility of getting things done, getting shit done, GSD, it's on you. It's not on anybody else. It's not on, well, somebody else didn't do their job. No, you didn't do your job. If something fails, you didn't do your job. So it's not a joke. And when people ask, do I have time to do it? Can I do it? And they're asking me, my answer usually is going to be, I don't know. If you have to ask, can you? The answer is probably going to be no. Because this is not, when I came out here, it wasn't a can I. It wasn't a question at all. It was, this is where you asked me to go, so I'm going to get this shit done. Period. And then moving in self-sufficiency, self-sufficiency is a tall task. I don't know if I'll ever be self-sufficient, as according to the technical definition of the word. Because, I don't know how to make cattle panels. I don't know how to make the zip ties that are keeping the cattle panels together. I don't make PVC pipe. I don't have a mill to mill my own wood. People say, you should get a mill. And the shit sounds simple until you realize, well, I don't have an intricate pulley system to get logs to where I need to, and then the type of mill that if I wanted to get one, you start looking at those things and it's a lot bigger than what you think. It's not as simple as just get a mill. You have to have mill time, and when you're, growing food and getting businesses started and things like that, you just can't say get a mill. It's a lot more complicated than that. And then there's the finances. Is anybody volunteering to buy one for me? Because things cost money. And when homesteading is, a lot of times you're weighing, do I pay for this and get this big thing done, or do I pay for this and get this big thing done? If I buy siding for the house, well, I'm not going to pay a bunch of people to come and do the siding for me, so I have to do the siding, which requires ladders and screws and drills and metal cutting. I don't like using the England grinder. I have the actual metal cutter. Those things cost money. A good set of tools, and I have a outdoor set of tools, drills and things like that. But it just goes to show that there's a lot that goes into this. And so self-sufficiency, it's a tall task to say I'm going to be able to go out there. It's an impossible task for me. I'll just say that. But I can become as self-sufficient as possible. I can alleviate certain things, like if I grow my own food, if I grow my own vegetables, which we do. If I grow fruit, and I am, we're eating figs, and we're eating goji berries, we're eating blackberries, and we're eating pears and apples now, and grapes, and I'm sure I'm missing elderberries already, ground cherries, and we're just the squashes, just getting to a point, where I can store this food, especially the fresh fruits and vegetables and the dehydrating and the, we're storing squashes for our first time long term, planting winter squashes and realizing I didn't grow enough winter squash. So I have to build, countless other trellis devices in order for me to grow enough squash to sustain a family of my size over the winter. These things are not easy, simple tasks. And if you've looked at life and said, well, I'm always choosing the easiest way out, homesteading is going to be difficult for you unless you are just made of money. And then this conversation doesn't even include the knowledge and the skills that you're going to have. Do you even know how to do the things you did that you were asking to do? I'm going to build my own house. Do you know how to? Most people have this idea, I'm going to come and build a house and it's going to be a mansion. Most of you would do well to start off in a 12 by 24 with a loft, a 12 by 40 with a loft. Instead, people come out here with these grandiose ideas that they're going to, build this, that, and the other. And, for the average person buying the land and the lumber and everything you need, you're looking at $100,000 investment. I don't know how many people got $100,000 laying around, $100K laying around. I don't. I came out here with $5,000. $5,000. It made this shit happen. So don't ever look at homesteading and say it's too much. But I think that, and for a lot of people, you have to count the cost of, are you really willing to put in the work that's going to require? Are you going to put in the late hours of study to learn how to raise animals, to learn how to plant food, to learn, even the climate, the soil? Is your soil alkaline? or is it acidic? You know, do you know how to amend your soil to grow? You know, here I have a moringa tree. Now, we have these out in Arizona, but I praise the Most High that we have moringa because we eat moringa. We have some more over here. Now, those are the second batch you just saw. Well, there was some elder goji berries over there too. The second batch you saw are 1 year trees. This one right here is a second year tree. Had to have a hoop out. I grew a tree like this before. It grew pretty tall. I left it outside. The winter killed it. It's about 1.5 years old. So this one we're actually bringing into the hoop house, and it stays relatively warm inside of here. So that's the whole. I mean, the bamboo. We're going to be doing construction with bamboo. All these bins are filled with bamboo, what they call structural bamboo, where I'll be able to build with it. There's just a lot that goes into it. What I'm trying to say is you have to make sure you count the cost and you're ready for what you say you want. And you have to know that you're going to go out and do it. And you can't depend on anybody else. You can't depend on your friends. You can't depend on your external family, the ones that are moving there with you. You have to be able to know you are going to do it. And that applies to most things in life, marriage and family and any investment that you're going to make. Are you going to go the long haul? I know people that bought silver, and because the silver didn't, do what Dogecoin did, it didn't go to the moon. It didn't hit 76 cents in one, day because, the Elon Musk situation that dropped. But, I bought silver and it's been a year and I'm not getting my return. See, we're such a microwave society. We want to come out here and put our hand to the soil and plant some seeds in the soil, and we want to see a bounty the first day, the first week, the first month, the first year. It's taken me years to amend this clay soil, and then eventually just get to the point where I did raise beds. And that takes time. It takes time to build the infrastructure, to make the money, to save the money, to learn the skills. Lots and lots of skills. Not relying on others, but relying on what Yah's given you. If you have that, you can do it. But if you don't have that and you operate in doubt and fear, homesteading, your homestead will fail. A lot of people just generally right now are going to be stuck in these cities. They're going to be stuck where they are. Because we see this economy. We see the way things are going. For a lot of people, unless you're coming out with an influx of cash, the idea of doing this thing, those opportunities are shrinking. Land prices have skyrocketed. A lot of people, when they come out, they run their homestead on generators. You know what they're saying about gas prices, right? And do you know how much gas you're going to be using in your generator to run everything that you want to run, especially coming from a society where everything's, I want to run my microwave on the generator, my refrigerator on the generator. Make sure you count the cost. This is not to discourage you, this is to get you to think. And if you know a homesteader and you're serious about homesteading, ask them questions. Ask them, can you visit so you can see the work they put in? Because we're just coming to a time and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for a lot of the people that have chosen to stay in these cities. But that is, everyone makes their own decision. It's just something to think about. Bless y'all. I hope you're having a blessed second day. Sure.